Time check. It's kickoff time. It's game on with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Thank you for joining us on our Facebook page, Bolabet Zimbabwe, and of course on our YouTube channel, Bolabet Zimbabwe. My name is Tinashe Chikuse.
Intombe sport here asimdaraga energy amashika nayo ga. Sinichipera pa mimi energy.
Naso wakataurisa ndokukanda red card. Sorry. Wakaramba uchitaurisa ndokudira futi red card.
Pagame rakaipa udai so.
Yeah.
It's not relegate wakamukabudisa red card bana. Thank you so much for joining us today in our 4th episode of It's Game On with Bolabet. Just prove you know the game. I'm Veronica Gwaze.
Yeah, and of course today it is the beginning of 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. That's what we are going to be talking about. And just to remind you, kuti aiwa kurovana kunetsana being online muchitukana muchita sei hazvisi kudiwa izvozvo.
Anzinonzi mirizhonga.
Yes.
Mirizhonga haidiwe.
Hey, but that word sha mirizhonga.
Imagine dating someone anenga kunyorera mawedza akadaro kuti
last time wakanditira mirizhonga iwe handizvini zviita ndokupa red card. Yeah, say that again. Of course, it's ending digital violence against women and girls. And of course, here on Game On with Bolabet Zimbabwe, it is a safe online space for the girl child. As long as you're 18 years and above, you can do your betting.
You know, Tinashe, some of these things I think we just underestimate sometimes. You know, you get to a situation you don't know what's coming at you.
Yeah.
I remember at some point, I think that was probably one of my first encounters with online bullying. Imagine you get an award, Dandawina Award, I think it was 2023.
Yeah.
Is the Zaka Investigations Reporter of the Year. So now I'm handed over the award by the minister. I'm not going to say his name, but then one of the comments that then came to comment section, it was nasty.
Yeah, I know.
And it insinuated as if punish aitika between maybe me and the minister, and yet he's not even part of the adjudication process. So you see, so those are some of the things is a good thing. Psychologically, it takes a toll on you, and imagine even the structure that surrounds you. Imagine imagine your in-laws, your kids, even. So I think these are some of the discussions that we really need to take into perspective every now and then, so that we keep each other in check. Gender-based violence, online bullying, just be responsible with your gadget.
True that, and because with online bullying, you know, social media, you say at no Fahrenheit, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, even WhatsApp itself, it keeps records.
Yes.
It happens today, 5-10 years from now. Your kids are growing, they will see, mama wakambodai, dad wakambodai. You know, these things, these are the things that we say we don't want.
Let's just use online to spread the love.
Like what we are doing right now. We're spreading the betting. That's what you need to do. And of course, let's begin by saying, okay, red card, yellow card, ndadzorera. Ayanga akatageta kuenda kuna Super Mario. But this time around, no red card, no yellow card for you. We say thumbs up to you. Thank you so much. We saw what you did in Qatar. That was very commendable, winning by 2-1.
And we are very grateful. Tata Gari Satisingaze celebrate. It feels good to finally get to smile.
No wonder why they call him Super Mario.
He's super.
Yeah, super. Fast and very fast philosophy. We saw it, it happened, and it was nice.
Fast and furious. Fast and furious.
But of course, still talking about that, we have already, as the Zimbabwe national soccer team, we have started our road to Morocco.
Yeah, recently Zifa Yagato launched the road to Morocco. And when you see you know very well kuti mazuva aswera.
Yes.
And I think at this stage it's now time for us as Zimbabweans to finally stand and speak in one voice. Let's support our boys, let's support our coach. For the next 1 year, imagine.
Yes.
Super Mario, So I think it's high time that we need to support him. And in as much as we might have negative at negative, let's present it as positive, as criticism. And you find a polite way of portraying your thoughts, of giving your thoughts, not to brutally attack just like that. Because remember, some of these things they get to my players. Very poor social media, my players. they see those negative comments, they see the nasty comments, emotionally zvinova demoralizer, psychologically zvinotomuvhiringa zvokuti player inongosara hayopinda muground but mentally anenge asisiri akatobva kuMorocco kudhara iye asati atoenda. So I think it's high time that we need to support these guys. And when FIFA launched the road to Morocco, they've got the facilities, dzevari kuda visas for free, but I think teachers waits up a screen. There's a website that you need to visit for you to apply for the visa. It's free of charge, but you cannot apply for the visa as an individual. You need to go through that portal. And then they said also that they are still in the process of gathering the finances. The team yedu ku Morocco, I think everything needs mari kuti zvinhu zvifambe, and they are open kune vari kufila kuti ini ndoda kungoendesawo dollar rangu kumawarriors kana 50 cents 50 zig yoyo tikutoida, because it goes a long way kunobatsira ikoko. So I think those are some of the things that then come to us as the fans, as the passionate fans. Ngatingobatsira ika team yedu ingoenda. It doesn't mean that hakuna mari, no, but we are open because we are one family. We are open to accepting what you can also give us.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking imagine with the 7 million supporters, imagine
a
dollar per person. We've got $7 million towards the Warriors in Morocco, or maybe we say 50 cents per person with the population of Zimbabwe of 16-17 million. Think it will go. Not kutongotarisira munhu wani kuti iwe budisa mari kuti mawarriors aende. Yes, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is the administration of the money is the most important thing. Mari yacho yaunganidzwa yaiswa apa, all those who've got the passion for the game, mari yacho ngaichishandiswa zvinooneka, so that everybody when they come back they say, you know what, takazotadza edu kunowina, takazorohwa edu, but mari yakanga yakaunganidzwa ende yakashanda zvainoshandira. The most important thing on top of that is my players ngavagare vakangopuwawo mari dzavo. Hatiri ma-problems ekuti no, kana mari yedu isati yapinda hatisi kusumuka, hatisi kuzotamba. No, that's not acceptable.
And imagine AFCON, such a prestigious platform, rekenda unotamba mozonzwa kunzi kuZimbabwe vatomboita strike vasati vatamba game. So I think those are some of the things that we need to avoid. Zvinhu zvedu ngazvingowa smooth. Kana tarohwa toziva tarohwa, but zvinhu zvakarongeka. Kana tawina toziva kuti tawina because takarongeka. So I think either way, this is a very prestigious platform. We don't need the hiccups. And
Super Mario. Yeah.
Coming to Super Mario.
Kuti Super Mario now he is showing up. Kuti yes, I'm actually already on my road to Morocco. Angatonoona my games, my local games, even though angare kupedzisira zvaoka. It's not his fault. The time he came, it was just about to end the local Premier Soccer League. But he took time to just say, out of Qatar game that I played, I'm here. I want to watch my games. I can't know my games, my local. I like the way he says, fast and very fast philosophy. He's fast in the field of play. He's fast in the grandstand. I don't know all my players. I just say, which is good.
My players are very fast. Vanofunga fast. Who do everything fast, who walks fast, who eats fast. Zvese zviringoda kunzi ngazvitwe fast chete.
Mucho fast to go saka boys ndo zvakanyanya kukocha. Mukazongeta fast kune zvimwe zvese but muchinorwa mapango musiri go hazvibude manje. Boys zangu hande tinogo. That's all we want as we get to Morocco this December. Counting down, my days achakutopera.
Yes, and that it's just unfortunate that time yakauya season was coming to an end, and he just got to watch 2 of the 9 games that were
remaining
over the weekend. And it's I don't know, maybe it's a bit unfortunate, especially for players that have been talked about, names that have been raised when it comes to the national team, the names like Namofat Abubakar from Moz. Unfortunately, Super Mario was in the stands watching the game, and Abubakar was nowhere near the field. I think he has an injury. But imagine, Mungu ambouya from the midfield that he came, was just consistent like that. You would enjoy watching him play. Then unfortunately he picks an injury. Coach. And then Nezuro, he comes to Rufaro. I just hope that, because one of the guys Karachira is his name was Jarison Seleman. Though Nezura Nakutamba get the full 90 minutes, but I just hope that Super Mario at least got to see a glimpse of maybe what he was trying to look for.
I just hope and trust kuti pane maplayers akakuwara nevaifana kutamba and they couldn't play. Akuno kamwe kasekuru kari kusumudza kuti mhepo kuti zvako usaonekwawo naSuper Mario. But at the end of the day, what we just want to say is, when the things are starting now, this is the time when we have to come together as fans, as the corporate world, to support each other towards the Warriors. And of course, over the weekend, I couldn't make it. When you went to Gwaze over the weekend, tell us, how was the mood like? Finally, Scotland being handed over their crown as the kings of Zimbabwean football.
It's not just the crown, Tinashe. This time, Zifa PSO yakabva yachinja one cup yacho.
Which is nice.
This time it was a bit stylish. Yoka cup kari nani for our domestic league. But the major highlight was having the first lady for the first time in domestic premiership coming to watch the game, coming to preside over the coronation. You can imagine the pride yekuti uri kupinda ground. Urikuziya zvako kuti ndine mafans panapa, thousands of fans. They have been used to watching me week in week out, but nasa I've got a special guest. Maybe wokuti ndikaita an impression. Vachada kuzoziya kuti komwana uyo ndeupi uyo. And imagine even the handshake itself. It's not every day
say that again.
The first lady, and you get the opportunity to get that precious handshake. You get the handshake, she gives you the medal, she hangs it over your neck. I think that was the major highlight of that day. Despite the game, the two goals for Scotland came pakati pemvura. But you know, it's those moments that also give you the memories that you are always going to reflect on. And it actually kept me thinking, Kuti, I think the arrival of Scotland itself, yakangoyari remember their first game of the season, Murufaro, when they played against a Triangle. Kwakanaya. And they won that game 1-0. Varimo Murufaro. The day Ravaka confirmed as the champions, they played at Ascot and won 5-1 against Kwekwe United. And when the final whistle blew, Kwakanaya, they celebrated and then finally when they get crowned, vakatamba mumvura. So I think there's something synonymous with Scotland and the rains.
But unozoona kuti chika Scotland muntaurira imimi mukuti mabvira asi pari kunaya, moto uri kuda kubvira, mvura iri kunaya. Saka mabvira enyu anouya zvese, either in water, in rain, whatever the case might be. We're proud of you and thank you so much. We just hope and trust that as you get into the African safari, makwenda unovaratidza kuti what Zimbabwean football is all about. And we know with Scotland, they are likely to be taking a couple of players, new players from other clubs and others from outside Zim. And kunongoringa ruma karungonzi Emmanuel Jalai, captain crosser to the other side of blue. Do you think it will be a good move for him to move?
Yeah, I think for his personal growth, he has been with Dynamos for the past 6 seasons.
Yes.
And ukaona munhu aita decision yekuti let the 6 seasons now come to an end, ndichiendawo for a new challenge. Ainenge zvaanenge aona. Because at this stage, when I look at Emmanuel Jalai, I look at a very mature person who is so level-headed. You should have a conversation naye, just a minute or 2 minutes. You can tell kuti ndikutaura nemunhu level-headed. Obviously, if he reached that decision, it's not something chaakangofunga overnight. He sat down, akaweya, he saw the pros and cons. Dzekuti ndikaenda ukuku zvichandimirira sei, if I decide to stay zvichandimirira sei. But also on the other hand, if he is going to move to Scotland, I think it should come as a wake-up call to Dynamos and the other giants as well. Kuti, look, almost every season, Dynamos has to act in the last minute. Either they are averting a mass exodus, players, or they are then forced to go and chaka kuti like last season they had to go to D1. Kuti vanotora players to D1. Such a big club, you don't expect them to be in slumber up to that last minute. Munotorerwa kama players.
Yes.
And I think at this stage, they've branded every player to Dynamos. Next season, Dynamos. And then you see, you relax. And if they are going to lose Emmanuel Jalai, I think it's going to be a very huge blow because look at this guy. He has been consistent for that team in the past 3 seasons. So obviously you don't want to lose such a player. If they are going to lose Vusa Ngwenya, because I heard Vusa Ngwenya is also on the radar for Scotland and Highlanders. If that guy is going to go, midfield yawaya shake. I also heard Prince Tafire Muta is being touted by Anatel One. And let's be honest, inini for me Angu this season in the PSL, I don't want to look at a goalkeeper based on clean sheets. Yes, of course, my clean sheets come into perspective. But remember, the clean sheet, Jalaya no gonna to nerangu clean sheet. Mohamed ano gonna to clean sheet ramu kutitafire muta nerangu. But I want to look at a goalkeeper as a complete player. Tafire muta when it comes to myself, guys, this season, Dynamos would have suffered some of the most embarrassing defeats. Season yago. But look at my saves at the very crucial time. Remember, even Nezuro in their final game, FC Platinum could have won that in the last minute. But that guy came up with a very good save. For me, whether Chatters are clean sheets, whether Chatters are cheap, but in for one goalkeeper this season who has been outstanding for his side, who has been played a very crucial role for his team, and he has shown Guti a developer from what he was like last season. It's Prince Tafire Muta.
Yeah.
So I don't want Dynamos to lose those type of players, because remember next season kunotangidza kubuilda futi inopera futi vachifighta relegation.
I know, I believe so much in the name Dynamos itself. I don't think 2026 season they will be fighting for relegation. They'll be fighting for the pole position.
What gives you that confidence?
I don't have any reason why I would say that, but my gut feeling is telling me that. Dimbare inogona kuzo next season inongetora pane rimwe level ukuthi if the likes of the Jalais and the other players think of leaving Dimbare, vanozanga unoti wakuona, you know what happens when you are in a queue, in a till queue, you till number 4, you look at number 3, you see number 3 like it's moving fast. The moment you move to number 3, you number 4 starts to move fast. So I would say chimborambai mambo itakula down, boys. I know yes, makula yepapo muri kudimbare muchimbodai dai uri kutimwa uri koko, but at the end of the day this is outside what the producer wants us to do here. Yes. This is between me and you in the comment section, producer aside. Who do you think is going to be the soccer star of the year? Because we have mentioned a lot of people. We have kept like the Dynamos afloat. We've kept Scotland going. We've kept Moss going. But who do you think is likely top goal scorer tonight, Dara? Yes. But soccer star of the year 2025, who do you think?
Sometimes as a player, ukafocus neka engo kako kari undisputed kake bo echo zvinavaya anakana stress paariso arikutoziva kuti whatever is going to happen to the other team which 11
ndini ndikutopinda vatoda ini ndiri gunman wavo.
But then I think when we look at all the teams in this season, we have 1 or 2 players ekuti tinoti uyanga ari nani, but this season mdara outstanding chaizvo pari tricky. Outstanding chai iri tricky because we have my players wekuti akatanga season on a high like Emmanuel Zocha.
Yes.
Then along the way panozotanga obvious maybe nyaya fatigue which also comes into play. Unono ama up and down. We have got Jarison Selemani from FC Platinum. That consistency this time around yanga isna aina kunyatsobuda zvakanaka. We have got ku Scotland Timon Machope. He missed a number of games due to my injuries, and at some point Scotland he rotated my players, so he couldn't really get enough game time. But then when he got into scoring form, look where he is now. Do you know at some point akatota ari kuma 1-2 goals ukoko team rimwe ranga ratorwa pasi kudhara ratokuma 6-7, but he caught up with them even achimisa magames achimboenda kuma injuries. He managed to catch up. But kuti tinoti outstanding. Then there is Kevin Moyo, the only player to have played 36 games ku Scotland this season. Imagine in a star-studded team of Wanotamba ese 34 games. He only missed 10 minutes when they played against Ngezi Platinum Stars ku Power. he was benched, and then in the first 10 minutes, Peter Mdua got a red card, and then in that moment, 29 Rai introduced my changes. Kevin on pitch, and I think that's the only game that he just missed 10 minutes. Mamwe Esa yakatamba complete 90 minutes in a star-studded team.
So let us know in our comment section, who do you think is going to be the soccer star of the year? In our comment section, we're going to pin those messages until the announcement is done. And if you're the one who would have predicted the right one, you never know. Bolabet Zimbabwe will give you something exciting for you to get to enjoy. At the end of the day, remember, it is all about playing the game and enjoying it. Let's take a commercial break. When we come back, we get to discuss more to do with women football right here in Zimbabwe. But for now, do your betting, and we're taking a break. Welcome back to Game On with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Prove you know the game. Hopefully you have taken time to prove that you know the game by doing your betting in any outlet of Bolabet Zimbabwe around the country. Welcome back to the program where we get to discuss so many things. In the first segment, we were talking about the Warriors' route to Morocco, Scotland winning, Dynamos here and there. And remember, in the comment section, your possible soccer star of the year 2025. Feel free to write your reasons why you're saying this player should be the soccer star. But coming to think of it, and of course, this is your one-stop show where we get to talk about it. And remember, it is 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. And this year's theme is ending violence against women and girls, giving them opportunity to be free on the digital space. Vero, I understand the Zimbabwe Mighty Warriors are currently in camp ahead of a 3-team tournament in Lilongwe, Malawi, scheduled to start on the 28th of November.
No, that it's not every day.
Yeah.
Mighty Warriors are in camp. You know for certain most of the time that they get into camp. Either wakwenda kukosafa kana watu wakwenda kuma qualifiers.
Yes.
And then having them this time around vachendo ku a friendly tournament like this, I think this is a milestone for women football. And you know that Tinashe munomuka, if you get time to go and watch women football, you would appreciate what we have got a lot of potential. And even the conditions that surround women football in Zimbabwe, it's heartbreaking, because I think that potential reach a maximum due to the conditions but I noticed that with the new led leadership and Nana Chidochi Zondoku League, I think this is now more being in the new times where they also consider female footballers at almost the same level, never komana. So taking that time and that commitment, invitational tournament, I think that was a very big step for Zimbabwean women football.
How is the corporate world coming in, considering that this is a commendable thing that we have seen in so many years?
Yeah, I think IPAPO we are still a long way to go, because when you look at the corporate world, league Rangarisina sponsor Olalo, and even now we had Utano that came in on board earlier in July, and Banopa $100 kuna player of the month, $100 kuna goalkeeper of the month. I think $200 kuna coach of the month, and then pane was E4 bano wana $100 and then the coach gets $200. That's not much.
Yeah.
But the fact that at least we have someone angozo filo kuti rega ningo batsira vana ava pane kuti vatambie vachingotamba pasina zvavari kutambira. I think it's really commendable, and it should inspire confidence in the other corporates, because I've noticed that if you look historically, my corporates who are willing to come and maybe give something to women football, vanoda kuenda kuma teams aya, especially my uniformed forces. I think it comes with the security. Vanofila kuti we are giving kwatine faith and hope yekuti chinhu ichi chicharamba chiripo, because it's backed by pay slip. Remember, vanhu vari pamapero aunoziva kuti ife yakaita se yakazonzi nasi team iya yaparara kusisina. And then on this muleague some of the teams are individually owned. So even where they struggle to get the sponsorship. But I think it's high time that maybe the corporates also consider kuti vanhu ava vatikasa vabheka isusu, the journey becomes difficult for them. So they need to maybe to step up and try to take a gamble. You take a gamble, uchatozoona kuti that thing really pays off. As you look at my teams akafanana na Faith Drive. Faith Drive is a home. Gogo Msikavan, she's the owner of that home. Vanotoenda out there, vachino adopta vana, vachitora vana, some of the kids vasina ma parents, some of the kids who live on the streets. She takes them, she adopts them into her home. So ku home uku, she then gets them into football. Vapinda mu football, she then goes kunotsvaga ma scholarships kuti vana vaye vadzokere kupi kuchikoro. So I think when we have someone who is doing this for a noble cause, let's be there to support them. If you look at the 18 teams dziri mu league, about 17 of them, they enjoy my fruits from Faith Drive. You look at the Mighty Warriors, I think the current team that's in Kenya, we've got about 5 or 6 my players akabva ku Faith Drive, my products agogo Msikavana. Evana vavanofeeda vega every day, vantomuka kutonotsvaga kutoti nhasi ndikunotsvaga mari yemuriwo. Kana vachienda kunoita ma piece job, the manual jobs, she goes out there, she does that, she comes and brings food. Vana vaive, they take turns to cook for themselves home mavanogara. So I think those are some of the outstanding characters that we need to back if we are going to have an improvement in our domestic league. And also it comes back to the executive. Gadziraika brand, enhance your brand so that it also attracts ma corporates. Because atirambe tivamanikidza kuti chingoenda ega pavasiri kunzwisisa kuti zvinhu zviri kumbonyatsofamba sei. We need to first of all deal with that image. Let's deal with that image. Let's enhance the brand so that we also attract the sponsors.
As we into 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, how are these female personalities, sports personalities, playing their role in all this so that the message is taken abroad and taken to everyone?
Ndara imagine nasi Rutendo Makore, mungo munzwa achara kuti 16 days of activism against GBV. Or the mighty Rudone Shamba.
Yes.
Just talking about that. I believe Guti, as sports personalities, these guys have got a very, very big influence in championing my issues at And I give credit to Zifa because recently Zifa partnered with their UNFDP on issues of GBV. They want to tackle GBV through sports personalities. And this time around, they are also looking at it from kuvakomana chaiko chaiko. So you are going to see more of these programs. Dzinedzichitwa neZifa, dzine UNFDP mkati. And I think if we are ever going to win this issue here, this subject here, GBV, we cannot look at it on vakadzi chete. Let's look at it from a whole component. Because varume also have a role to play. Vakadzi also have a role to play. So let's meet halfway. And we confront this menace.
True that gender-based violence is not only centered around kuti munhu wechidzimai ndiye arohwa ndiye ashungurudzwa. It also happens the other way around. Varume vanoshungurudzwawo nemadzimai. Saka we just say let's just end it both sides and we just have a peaceful world to live in. Still with the world of sport, particularly with the women in mind. How are the James doing?
Yeah, it's not been that rosy, but all thanks to Nedbank, they ensured kuti vana vaenda.
Thank you.
They go and play in that invitational tournament. So this invitational tournament, I sat here to tank, but the James had 2 other games lined up, which is called the Tour of Wales. So they played 2 games with Wales. But then I wouldn't really fault them on my score lines at True Corner. Because I believe kuti the preparation itself was not as rosy as we would have wanted. Remember, they stayed in camp, but they couldn't really train really consistent because of the rains. And then my visa, I don't know what really happened, but my visa akauya in batches. So you discovered on the first day, Pavaifana could travel. They only traveled with 6 players and 4 members of the technical and executive. And then so they didn't really get enough time to rest. Imagine kuti munongwa travela kubva kunoku kunobata kuWales hours mangani. You need time to rest, but they did not get that time to rest. And Then looking at my scorelines, I think for me that's a very strong team that had the environment been permitting, had they gotten enough rest, if they traveled really smooth, if they trained in camp, they could have won those games. And trust me, if it wasn't for 2 games, if they were going to get a 3rd game, I'm sure things would have turned the other way around. But all the same, those 2 games were being used as preparation for the Celtic Cup. So now we need to support them.
Yeah, because probably some of these players, it was their first time being in Europe. Climate change will affect you in a way. Until you acclimatize with it, and you then get used to it. Like you're saying, pass in that 3rd game. And we just wish them the best. Do you have an idea when this invitational tournament is going to be starting?
Yeah, I think it starts on Monday, and then it runs through the week. Then the first week of December, they connect to Malawi for the African Championships. So I think avid netball lovers never see netball. I think this is probably the time that you start to follow the James. Their journey. So the James, even if I win a bronze, we celebrate because it's a milestone. Remember, at some point when I in camp, what we end up notamba pasina kana dollar. That's how difficult things were. At some point, when we went to Pindam camp, then they failed to travel because of my finances. So I think now it's a whole new era for netball, and the noble thing that we can do is just to come and support them in numbers.
That's all we can do. We just need to support the James, the Mighty Warriors, everyone who is into sport in Zimbabwe. Let's support them because it's a talent. It is a talent that somebody can live and survive with. Imagine ari mwana wako yo ari kutamba netball. Aenda ikoko uchiziva kuti mwana wangu ari kutamba nhasi haana kana chaawana. But you expect other people to come and support. Iwewe, what have you played? Yes, you have given us a player, but we then want the corporate world to come on board and help in supporting. And we say thumbs up to Nedbank for what they have done. We appreciate if we can have more corporates like Nedbank to come on board. Definitely, at one of the fine days, gold medal will come. Kuhokira kamboya one in 1980.
You see.
It can still come.
But you know that ichi ndakutofunga kuti tisusuka tisitofana kutotanga nazo zvinizvi. Imagine ndichitofamba nemota yangu ka yakatongo brand kwa face dzemamaiti warriors.
Yes.
But gatite action.
That is what is needed. You can say that again. With Bolabet Zimbabwe, it is game on, and we say the game continues, and we take a break. When we come back, we will be meeting up with the Bola Queens. Remember, the Bola Challenge. It is game on. Prove you know the game. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope and trust that you all had a wonderful moment to do your betting, because patinotora break by digital to one mukana betting yako umboita ma permutations ako kuti utorewo mari. It's very important for you to do that with Bolabet Zimbabwe. In this segment, this is our regional sport that we do as Bolabet Zimbabwe, and of course we have been running a competition. Call it a challenge, not a problem, because it's Bola Challenge. Yes. For you, let's understand from you what this is all about. And of course today it is the beginning of 16 days of activism ending digital violence against women and girls. The big question is, are these spaces very safe for women? That is exactly what we were talking about. And to help us get to understand more about this, I'm now joined by a beautiful queen. I feel like blowing my pito for a beautiful one right in the studio. Thank you so much. How are you doing, Rudo?
I'm good, Tinashe. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. The Bola Queens challenge has been going on.
Yes.
But who is Rudo?
Sure. It's a good question. So Rudo is a philanthropist. I have an organization that deals and take care of the girl child, mainly for those in the rural areas.
Okay.
So we pay school fees, we give them food, we give them clothes, just to even sanitary, yes.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You've also been part of this Bola Queens challenge.
Yes.
Tell us more about this challenge.
It was a challenge, it was a challenge where a group of people, like ladies mainly, I think we were about 20.
Wow.
And we were competing for one position, which is brand ambassador for Bolabet.
Wow.
Yes.
So tell me, how has been your strategy? Tactic?
It
you to win this
It was tough. It was tough. But I'll be very honest with you. My strategy was to be real. I shared my experience, my Bolabet experience with everyone. With the people that I registered, with almost everyone that I was recruiting. Because myself, I'm a panther. Yes, a female panther here.
Wow.
Yes, so some time ago, like I think a year or some months ago, I won a chunk of money.
Wow.
Yes, so a lot of people were asking me, how did you do it? So this was the time now to share my my tips and what. They didn't know that behind there was a motive.
Yeah.
So it's like I was giving them ideas, tips, but in the process recruiting them. Yes.
Next time when you win that big chunk of money, learn to share and also need something.
Definitely, I'll do that.
That would be great.
I will do that.
So what are you aiming for? The ultimate prize that you're aiming for in all this big Bola challenge that has been going on?
Okay, so I'm aiming to win the challenge, because what I really want to do is to invite or to encourage women like me to be part of the people that bet with Bolabet. Because I told you earlier that I'm a panther myself, so I visit some of these branches and I hardly see women there. So I really want to win this title and make sure, invite people to come and bet, because really I think people are scared. Can I go and am I going to be safe?
Yeah, talking about that, Rudo.
Yes.
Today, like I said earlier on, is the beginning of 16 days of activism, ending digital violence against women and girls.
Yes.
You want to encourage other women to also come and do betting.
Yes.
Are these outlets really safe spaces for women to do this?
They are very safe, yeah. They are very, very safe. Like I'm saying, I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying it or for marketing purposes, no. I am a panther myself. And the good thing about, if you don't want to go and bet Kuma branches, you can do this online. You're cooking, you can bet online. So it's very safe. Yes.
You like betting and you've won a big chunk of money before?
Not once. Not once.
Like several times?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
You've got the luck here.
I wish I could show you my history.
I love that.
Yes.
So would you say have you ever been a victim of digital violence yourself?
Unfortunately, yes, I have.
What happened?
I posted something online and people were saying very hurtful things. It's really bad out there. I know it's not only happening to me. So many people are victims of this cyberbullying. So I'm grateful that this is the theme for this year.
But you spoke about you being a victim of digital violence.
Yes.
So how can then young women like you avoid being victims of digital violence in this space that we're living in?
It's sad that we're in this era that we're in now, because technology is what's running this current time that we're in now. So you can't really do out without posting. But if you really, 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 really want to avoid this, don't post. Because like I said earlier, if you put whatever you put out there, you don't have control. People will say whatever they want to say, but in the event that you have posted, maybe if people start attacking you, you can delete. You can block a person. You can delete the comment. You can choose not to answer. It's your phone. It's your gadget. You can choose not to respond.
Yeah. You're getting it from Rudo here with us. Real women, real wins.
Yes.
And of course, real influence that we are talking about. This has been the Bola Challenge, and of course, Rudo is one of our winners. And you can take a leaf out of what she has gone through. Pick up the positives and stay. And remember, these outlets from Bolabet Zimbabwe are safe for girls and
Yes.
women. So long you are above 18 years old, then you know you can do your betting and everything. So we just want to say thank you so much, Rudo, for coming through. Thank you so much for being a real woman, for winning the real wins, and of course the real influence that you've given out to other women out there to say, what's your last word that you want to give out to the ladies out there?
I want to encourage you all ladies to come and bet with Bolabet. It's a very, very safe space for you to be in. People are very respectful. The gentlemen, they'll respect you. And if you don't want to come more betting house, you can do it online. You can bet online. You can do whatever you want. You can bet online. Please bet responsibly. Bet school fees. So yeah, come, let's bet. Let's bet with Bolabet, and trust me, we're not a winner.
Out! It's game on with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Thank you so much to Rudo, our Bolabet Challenge Queen. And keep betting. We take a commercial break. When we come back in a few minutes, we will continue with our game. It's half time.
Welcome back, and thank you to Tinashe Chikuse for initiating such an important conversation. You know, issues of gender-based violence, these are very topical issues across the globe. And as we continue to celebrate 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, this year's theme is ending digital violence against women and girls. And Tadzoka Bolabet Queens. And welcome to Ropa. And maybe munangada kutonyatsoziya tisataziya kuti anonzi ropa ndiani. When you talk about Bolabet Queens, everyone wants to understand, who is this queen? Kana tichite Bolabet Queen, what does it take for one to become a Bolabet Queen?
Okay, I think what it means to be a Bolabet Queen is to be that one person that is representing women in the betting space and conscientizing people on what betting is, because I feel like people are uninformed or they're not really informed about how betting is, like what goes into betting. So we are the queens that are representing other women to say, hey, listen, it is safe to bet, it is okay to bet, and you can actually win with Bolabet.
Yeah, and talking about these issues of betting, there's that stereotype. Yekunzi mukadzi anobeta, they are not real women, or they are women of loose morals. And you have been in this space. How has it been for you, these stereotypes?
I believe that all those women that are representing the Bolabet Queens, are well-rounded women in their spheres of influence. Personally, I'm a radio presenter and I am also a life coach, certified life coach. I teach bullying rehabilitation to kids that have been bullied and kids that also bully. So you'll find out that betting is not what people purport it to be. There is more to it. There just needs to be proper information and proper education about it. I personally bet every day. If I'm at work, you can bet with 10 cents. It's not like you're taking rent money and gambling with it. You can bet with 10 cents. You know what? I've got this extra change. I want to make it more. I want to double it. And you do that with Bolabet.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned that you're someone who bets almost every day.
Yes.
And then there's that misconception of betting becoming addictive and stuff. So where do you draw the line?
Okay, I draw the line financially, what I'm inputting. Sometimes you have wins, sometimes you have losses. You shouldn't be a sore loser and say, okay, whatever. It can be quite competitive, but what you have to understand is, if I say I'm going to bet with $2 today, let it be $2. Just be responsible with your finances, and the game will serve you well. But if you let it enslave you, that's bad. So you just need to know, okay, today I'm committing $1, today I'm committing $2, and that's all for today. And if you feel like you need a breather and not to bet, don't bet. Okay. Yeah. And
now, this is Ropa. You are one of the winners of weekly challenges.
Yes.
So maybe people would be interested. And how did you even find yourself in a betting house? Maybe the very first encounter that you decided, no, I just want to go and bet. What was it that was playing in your mind, and how was the reception when you got into the betting house?
First off, it's because I was really curious to find out how can someone just bet and win 1,000 or 500? How do you do that? And being a very competitive person, I was like, I'm gonna try my luck. And then I discovered, you know what, yes, it is luck, but there's also strategy, you know, with betting, understanding how to stack, you know, everything that goes into it. And I started online, and then when I walked into the betting stores and the branches, the female workers that were there it was a bit of a comfort to say, okay, this is actually safe for women because there are women in these spaces. And the men, there's such a family culture in the branches. I've been to Machipisa branch, I've been to Kwadzana branch, I've been to Chitunguza branch, and I've also been to Market Square branch. One thing that you'll find is that the Panthers are united. If someone wins, it's a win for everyone. And I really loved that, and I appreciated that. There's no, she's a woman, he's a man. No, everyone is a Panther, and it's fair and square. So I really appreciated that.
And now, as you wait for the ultimate prize, if it happens that it's going to be you who's going to beg that one.
I pray it is.
So maybe you can share with us a bit of insight what you intend to use the chunk for.
Woo! Okay. The chunk of money, a part of it is going to go into betting, because I also have the understanding of how the game goes, you know. And the other chunk, I'm going to use it for my work, of course. You know, there's so much therapy that we're trying to bring in with bullied kids. So I also want to finance that project to be able to have stationery to use when we then go to schools to talk to kids that have been bullied, to equip us with logistics and travels to other remote schools that actually need our attention. But for the most part, the brand ambassador deal, I really want people to understand what betting is, what the betting culture is, you know, so that it's not shunned and shamed in spaces where people try to express themselves. You know, some people don't want to bet in public on their phones because they feel like it's shameful. But I want people to understand that betting responsibly is really good, and you don't lose something, you actually gain something. You learn to be a strategist with this.
Okay.
Yes.
And now talking about online bullying, have you ever been a victim of online bullying? And if we are ever going to end such a thing, how best do you feel that we need to confront this issue?
Actually, I have been bullied. That's why I'm actually passionate about bullying. You know, I have been bullied online. But I think it's also how I was taught and how I got to understand what happens with bullying in regards to my major in education. So you also understand the reasons why people bully people. So about me being bullied online, I really wasn't affected by it, but I've seen how other women have been affected by it. You know, there's a lot of sharing of unconsensual pictures that are indecent. There's a lot of profanities that are used to talk about women and their bodies. So I believe that it is important for men, women, children, everyone, the whole populace, to be conscientized about the importance of kindness. People are entitled to their opinions, but they don't really have to project them onto people. And for the people that are going on social media, it's inevitable. Social media is everywhere. It's like our second home. It's like second nature. Everyone has some form of social media on their phone. So for us to say we could completely take it away from people, that would be really difficult. What we can then input measures as to how they can protect themselves, whether it's encrypted passwords, you know, just vetting the sites that they go to, censorship. I think that's of pivotal importance.
And maybe lastly, I believe when we talk about issues of gender-based violence, yes, we do focus on women, but remember, it's not every time that we are the victims.
True.
Sometimes we're actually the perpetrators.
Very true.
And maybe in that regard, how best can we ensure that as women, we stay in line we do not perpetrate then mangwana tozodzoka crying victim and yet isusu tiri isusu taka instigator.
Okay. With that, it's very sensitive because sometimes the abuse is woman to woman. Sometimes it's woman to man, and however it goes. I feel like it has to start from a grassroots level. Let's start at home. Let's go to the community. Let's go to the schools. Let it be in the government, the policy formulations. Let there be guidelines, rules, and regulations. Let there be fines. What I'm loving these days is people are standing up. If someone is bullied online, they're suing people for character defamation. So people need to really understand that, you know what, if something like that is to happen to you, speak up. Talk about it. And if you are to do it to someone, people need to understand the implication and the problems that come with doing that to someone else. People don't understand that people are getting clinical depression because of a comment that someone says, maybe from 5 years ago. You said something nasty on someone's post, but it's embedded in someone's mind. It's become a part of them. So people need to be taught about the repercussions of their actions.
Well, guys, I think Mazvinzwira from the Bolabet Queens and Varikukupai assurance kuti come and bait with Bolabet is actually a safe space for women.
Yeah.
It's also a safe space for men because atidi kuti mangwana muzoti maBola Queens ndo vacho vantu vari perpetrators. So I think this was a very good lesson, and thank you so much, Rudo. Ropa.
Yes.
Not Rudo.
Yes.
And I think the game Nasika. If it was a Harare derby, maybe Dynamos versus Cape United, it would have been a very good game. It's Nakanama cards because Naropa it was just giving us a lot of anecdotes into this gender-based violence topic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish you the best and hoping that you are going to win this chunk because I can see that with you, it's baiting for a good cause.
It is.
Thank you so much. Let's take a break.
Welcome back to Game On with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Hopefully you're still with us here on our Facebook page, Bolabet Zimbabwe, and on our YouTube channel, Bolabet Zimbabwe. It's competition time. And of course, last week, we say congratulations to you, Michael Mangube. You're our winner for last week's competition, Michael Mangube. Congratulations to you. And of course, this week's competition continues.
But set up in the competition. I
have an idea.
Just imagine two teams, Zirimon PSO, fighting relegation, only to survive on the last day.
Yeah.
But those are pro Pisaka Notamba Chibuku Super Cup final.
Zagato winners out on Tamba Africa.
Africans are bad straight away. Confederations Cup.
That's Zimbabwean football for you. Triangle versus Dynamos.
And you know what? And this could teach na kutichi.
But what teach?
And this could teach na
but ungupotsa kuti uchazoti
but tiri kutichiga. Pane imwe isati yamba wina painoendera kuGibo. They will be hoping to pick their first win in Gibo.
Usakangana kuti pana pasta.
So these are two teams fighting relegation up to the last day. Now they are dominating the Chibuku Super Cup final. Saka one yacho ipapo ndio ichapinda mu African Safari next season.
Sugar versus Jazunguza.
Yes.
Pane vakaipa pa Gibo Stadium.
Zunguza ere kana chichanozunguzwa.
Yeah.
But isusu tukutichi pane faith pakatapa.
Mugibo amwanza ubudika but hey abuda imomoka ishasha yakwenda ku Africa Safari.
But ye blue iyai. Nezuro vaitaura kuti isusuka zvekuti hanzi kuenda ku D1 ka nepu yekuenda pasi pemuti atizivesu. Chatongoziya kupinda murufaro tichibuda.
Yeah, timu yeno zvifonera zvokurara ndizvo.
Saka chandiri kuziya nje kuti izvezvi pavari vari kutotaura kuti kuGiboka hakuna guva rinonzi harivhurwe isusu tichamachera ese tichamavhura ese.
Hey.
Yes.
Right, vesa kuti dimba riri kurelegatwa rikandikuudzei kuti today ndo pamuchaziva kuti we are the majority. We are more than 7 million. Dimbara hapana kwainoenda. Ende kana ikatonzi yakuenda kana government ingatopindira. Tozotaura na 5. Dimbara hapana kwainoenda. Izvo nyorai pasi. That atina kwatinoenda. We are the majority baba. We are 7 million baba. We are more than 7 million.
But I will still say to the producer, please keep this clip. Next year, 2026, haachazunguza inenge chipisa. Handina kana reason andingangokuudzai but ndinongoziva kuti inenge chipisa chete. Tichazozvibata next year.
But muona kuti chii rasta? Rasta imi ndazokunyatsokubata imi. Imi muri 7 million imi.
Kana,
7 million.
inini manje unoziva kuti chika. United will stand divided with 4. United, I'm not like Liverpool, inorasika musango.
Bozi muona kuti chichandoziya manje pa 7 million dzedze. 7 million chero dzikaita 10 games dzisina kumbobvira dzawina. Dzine dzichingoti regai muone Sunday tichipisa. Tichipisa dzine confirm imwe noto it is serious.
So that is our question for this week. In the comment section, predict who is going to be the winner of the Chibuku Super Cup to be played at Gibbo Stadium this weekend.
Anenge azotipa nescore line. Towedzera magoodies pamusoro pemambo.
Yes, thanks to Bolabet Zimbabwe. But that does it for this week's edition of Game On with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Tell your friends to come through and give their predictions as well in the comment section. But for the meantime, kana usati waita izvozvo takuto kuti offside chimbomira ipapo.
Iwo ndiwe Owen Manenda yana to Brighton Chimene.
Ndini Brighton Chimene.
Inini ndini Grace.
Yes. Offside. Takaenda. It's Game On with Bolabet Zimbabwe. Prove you know the game.